Hello everybody. It's 70 degrees here in Lehi, Utah. We're going to go to a high of about 88 today, which has been better than what it's been lately. The last few days has been like about 100 degrees. So I'll take 88 over that. I'm Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and I'm here to give you my stitching updates from the highway and at home. And this is a channel mostly about cross stitch, but I have my other crafts too that sometimes I add into it. But last few weeks I've been doing all cross stitch. It seems to kind of give me a piece and like a centering that's been working well for me right now. I'm sure that as the weeks go by, I'll probably all of a sudden jump to something else, and you'll be able to see some of the other things. But right now my stitching has really given me a lot of peace and comfort, and so that's what I've mostly been working on. Anyway, before I forget and move on to finish objects, whips, dash enhancement, everything else, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And so if you want to stay tuned till the last of my video, I'll let you know what that giveaway is. I am splitting up this video to regular FOs and whips and plans, and then I'm going on and doing another video on a retreat goodies that I got for a retreat that didn't happen. So then that way, if nobody's interested in seeing all the retreat goodies, then they don't have to, and they can just get to my my whips and what I'm working on. Before I go on though, I had forgotten last video to give you a possible noir film to see, and I had been asked by a couple people privately about that, and I know I forgot that. So I'll give you one possible thing to look up, and it's a noir film that you can actually watch on YouTube free. So, and the copy is fairly decent. So this way you don't even have to like have Amazon Prime or Netflix or anything else. And it's called The Dark Corner, and what's cool about it is it has Lucille Ball in a non-comedic part, and I actually felt that she was very, very good in this. And so anyway, I would suggest you looking up The Dark Corner with Mark Stevens and Lucille Ball. I believe it was made in around 1947-46, and it's very, very good. It has Clifton Webb in it too, and it's probably kind of a takeoff of the noir film Laura. Laura was probably a little bit more like an A-rated type of a picture, in that it was probably, the scenes and the look of it were a little bit more of a top-notch picture. But I feel Dark Corner is a more darker and a good picture for when it was made. So anyway, I would suggest you looking that one up and seeing it if you like noir films. Anyway, I'm going to move on to stitching, which is what this floss tube is supposed to be about. And I'm going to let you know that I got some finished objects done, FOs. And these are, 2 out of the 3 of them are from Mania Starts, this Mania in 2020. So I'm excited about that. And the first one was my 5th Mania small start. I started 6 Stitch Mania pieces in 2020 that were smaller ones, and I wanted to get those 6 done and then move on to some of my medium size previous Stitch Mania patterns from 2018 and 2019, and see if I can get them whittled down some, because I'm getting tired of seeing them in my Stitch Mania every year. So this is number 5 of Stitch Mania, my number 5 finish, and this is called Woodland Hedgehog. I did show this on my Instagram, which is Colette Stitcher, if you want to look it up and join my Instagram. And this is from Just Another Button Company, which is quite obvious, as you can see from the buttons on it. It was crazy, because a few times I thought that I was missing floss or missing the picture on the pattern, going, where is this supposed to be stitched? And then I realized, oh, you're supposed to put the buttons where it was supposed to be stitched. Duh. So anyway, that's what this is. Of course, Just Another Button Company does a lot of buttons on their patterns. I think he's the cutest guy in the world. He's stitched on 32 count, let's see, Soft Sea by LuminousFiberArts. That's Misty Purcell, who sells on Etsy. She has some beautiful fabrics. I can't really tell you all of the floss conversions I did. If someone is interested, feel free to email me or Instagram me, message me or whatever, because I didn't have all the threads that I needed, all the overdyeds, of course, because of the virus. It was hard to get some threads, so I used kind of whatever I had in my thread box. So if you really want to know, I can let you know, but they are not the actual called fors, as well as, of course, the fabric isn't called for either. But I thought it looked nice. So anyway, Mr. Woodland Hedgehog is done, number 5 of my Stitch Mania 2020 starts. And then finally, number 6 got finished too. My last of my small starts. Now, I didn't get a chance to finish this yet, so I'm going to put the two pieces together, and then I'm going to turn it backwards and forwards so you can see it. This is Birdcage Biscornu. There's the front, and there's the back. It's my first Biscornu, so I've been looking at tutorials on how to finish it, but haven't been in the mood to finish, so I'm hoping that in another week or so I'll finish more. I'll feel more like finishing things, but I think this turned out really nice. I just love the bird cages on this and the colors. And this is being stitched on, I believe, let's see, it's a 28 count Antique White Lugana with a called for DMC floss. This was a Tiny Modernist pattern. I don't have the pattern with me, but Tiny Modernist has been doing a lot of really nice Biscornus. So I decided to use this one as my first. So this is my number 6 of my 2020 Smalls Mania starts. So I'm now done with them, and I'll be able to move on to some like medium size starts from previous years, which I'm pretty excited about. Then my final finish, and I'm going to have to put something behind this to have it really show the nicest, and I didn't bring something, which is typical. Anyway, this is the Secret Garden by Stitching Book Club. Stitching Book Club, if you look them up on Instagram or Facebook, they do a famous classic book where you read it, and then they also have a pattern for you to stitch. And the last month, the month and a half, they've been doing the Secret Garden. One of my favorite books as a child, so I decided to join up with them. This is the finish. It's totally done. I stitched it on 32 count Redwood Forest. I believe it's an even weave by Lori McCleary, who is Textilist on Instagram. She has been dyeing fabric, and her fabric is just absolutely beautiful. When Stitching Book Club came up with this Sal, they said do it on some kind of a chocolate or brown fabric, and I just knew what I was going to do it on. I had this piece from Lori and had been wanting to do it for a long time, and this has just ended up being perfect for this piece. And I have a really cool idea for finishing it that I'm not going to mention now because I'm not sure if it's going to work, but anyway, pretty excited about the finish. So that is Secret Garden by Stitching Book Club. She is done. So that was my third FO. So now I'm going to move on to my whips. Because I was working a lot on finishing up the FOs, because I knew I would get them all done, they took precedence over the last couple weeks. I was in Washougal at the River House, and I brought them along with me, and along with a couple whips, but didn't work on the whips too much. Worked on them mostly when I got home, or got back home. Anyway, one of the whips, of course, is Plantation Sampler by Canterbury Designs. It's an out of print pattern, unfortunately. As far as I know, it's really hard to find. I was lucky enough to get this loaned to me by Lisa Smith at Kindred Stitchers. And you know, I forgot to bring my darn water bottle, and this is going to be interesting to see how my voice messes up over this time, because I'm already messing it up as it is, and I don't have any water to drink. So I may be turning the Floss tube off and going to get a drink of water. Anyway, I did work on this though and got some of it done. Not as much as what I was hoping from my last video. My last video, my goal was to finish up all the animals within the grass area beneath the house. I did not do that, but I did work on a lot of them. So here they are. I got one cow done, some big kind of a goose, I guess, 3 birds, 2 rabbits, no wait, 4 birds and 2 rabbits. Oh, and 1 sheep. Oops, almost missed that sheep. Well, I'm gonna fold this up and show you a little closer here, because this is a big piece. So there they are. I still have several animals along the bottom there that I will be working on next. And this is being stitched on 32 count Lakeside linen pecan butter. I love Lakeside linen fabrics. They're my favorite fabrics, so I like to use them on samplers especially. And this is with a shepherd's bush thread conversion of overdyed threads, Weeks, Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts. So that's Plantation Sampler and what I accomplished probably mostly within the last week and a half of progress, since I was trying to finish up those FOs. Okay, another piece which I'm pretty happy what I got accomplished on in WIPs is my Linen and Threads Mystery Sal. It's called Family and Friends Sal. Linen and Threads has a free mystery sal every year. All you have to do is look up Linen and Threads on the internet and go to their website, and they have all of their mystery sals free for you to download all the way back to, I believe, 2017. And they are beautiful. Each one of them is different and just beautiful. So I do have this one backed smart as I am this time, because when the sun comes through the window here, this fabric is absolutely beautiful, but it washes out bad if it doesn't have some backing to it. Anyway, this is what I accomplished. I'll show you where. I was working on that big pot there. That's the April section of the Mystery Sal. That was keeping me going for quite a while. I had about half of it left, and it was just dragging along for me. But I did finish that, and up at the top here, I did all of May, which is this motif, a couple of those initials, and this pot, this cute pot. And that was May. So I'm pretty excited. It's coming along good. I'm stitching it on 32 count Fox and Rabbit fabric from Australia. And the name of it is Lyrebird Dell. It's a real pretty blue-green fabric. And the floss is also from Australia. It's Cottage Gardens. This is Cottage Garden Threads. And the color is Larkspur. So it's like a variegated thread with pinks, yellows, light greens. So I'm doing a slow catch up. Now that I'm done with that super big potted flower, which was kind of burning me out, now I'm pretty excited because even though they'll release the August one on the 1st, I finished May and I'm moving on to June, and so I am catching up better now on the sal. So I'm hoping that the next few go a little faster and I'll be able to catch up and be right along where I'm supposed to be. So those are my WIPs, finished objects. I did do a new start for this month. I was enabled by Brenda of Handwork Maniac and also our friend Lonnie, and to start up the Long Dog Sampler Pandemic, which is the sampler that Long Dog decided to offer free for a week during June, I think, or July. Boy, trying to think of my times and I'm forgetting, but it was offered for a week free. It is still, I mean, of course it's still up there now and you have to pay for it, but I did download it when it was free. This is the pattern. It's a very, very big pattern. It's 365 by 429. So I didn't want this to be super huge. It's still going to be big. So I decided to do it on 25 count fabric, 1 strand over 1. And what I did is I decided to just take what I had in my stash to work on it. I was done with buying things right now at this period in my stitchy month that I didn't want to buy anything else. So what I did is I had some antique white, or I think this is just regular white, 25 count Lugana. And I'd always wanted to use, I have some MissusSedas silk. She sells beautiful overdyed silks on Etsy. MISSUS, one word, and then Sedas, SEDAS, I believe is the name. And I'll have that down in the box below. And I knew from my friend Brenda, she had told me that 1 strand covers very nicely with MissusSedas on 25 count. So I appreciated that, Brenda. So I went ahead and went with the Darling color for MissusSedas. So this is my start on Long Dog Pandemic. And there's the MissusSedas color. The beautiful blues and greens on 25 count, 1 strand over 1 thread. So since there are 20 pages in this, at least that will not be such a humongous piece when it's done. It'll be more of a petite, finer piece. This looks so much more beautiful in person. It's just hard to just give that thread the what do you call it? What it deserves, because it is absolutely beautiful in real life. But be that as it may, that's how it is when you're doing floss tubes. This is turning out to be a fun project. This is almost a page worth done. So, and I will be continuing that one. Okay, now I'm on to stash enhancement. I received 2 bobbins from my bobbin of the month. And if any of you haven't watched my floss tube before, and I do have a few new subscribers, I'll explain that to you. I work on bobbin lace a lot. That's kind of one of my passions. And bobbin lace, if you look up here, you can see that's called a pillow, bobbin pillow, the big dome. And those are bobbins. Right here are bobbins. Those are very unique bobbins, but that's what bobbins are used for, to make bobbin lace. And there's also some bobbins over there. Well, just like I belong to the Stitchy Book Club, the stitching different clubs to get patterns or whatever, I also belong to a Bobbin of the Month club. And the ones I've got this last 2 months are a cactus. I've been doing it for a cactus or succulent theme for the past 6 months. So here is the one. They paint these bobbins. And this is I believe, a succulent. It is flapjacks. It's called flapjacks. It's hard to put this. There we go. That's the one bobbin, and then the other one is a cactus. It's called Golden Barrel Cactus. There it is. They do such a beautiful job. Just the fine writing and painting on the bobbins is just amazing. So those are my bobbins of the month for bobbin lace that I do. I also got 3 patterns from a designer that I wasn't aware of. I just happened to come across her. Annick, Abrial. I'll put it down in the box below. And I really like the patterns, so I got these. This is called I'm Stitching and Time Doesn't Matter. Where the woman's stitching. It's good red work pattern, so you can do it in red sampler. One morning in 1900, this is so fun, with all the different houses, church, different stores. So I think it's cute. This last pattern, before I show it, I looked up the translation. Fell in love with the pattern. I decided, I need to look up the translation and see what she's saying here. This is a fun pattern where she's stitching and the bird's carrying the thread. Just love this pattern. Now, I will not attempt to tell you the French. It's probably comme le saut, who knows. But it means, as the bird weaves its nest with every strand, she crosses the thread to infinity to create her destiny. Thought that was beautiful. So those are Annick Abrial. Be down in the box below on how, if you want to look up her patterns. She has some cute patterns. So that was my stash enhancement for this month. Okay, I'm going to move on to my plans. At the end of the month, on the 29th, 30th, and 31st, I'm going to be doing my Joan Elliott. I usually try to spend 3 days at the end of the month. That's just kind of what I've been doing on working on my Joan Elliott piece. This is the Embroideress. That's the one I'm working on. And she's being stitched on 32 count Lavender Bliss by Silkweavers, with all the called for floss and metallics and all of that, and the called for beads when I get around to doing them. Here's a closer up picture of it. And last month, of the 3 days of the month, I finished, or did, all of this area down here. From the month before, I had just completed the whole top row. So the last 3 days of this month, next week, I'm going to be working on down here again, trying to work on more of this along here to fill it in like that. More of these archways. So see how many more of those archways I can get done. So that's my plan for next week, the last 3 days of the month. We have a sale going on Instagram. Hashtag Joan in May, JOANINMAY Sal, Joan in May Sal. Stitching Mommy started it. She had wanted to do a Joan Elliott pattern, and I did too, so I contacted her. So there's several of us now that are working on this sal. And we just decided to just use Joan in May, even though as it goes on, we're still working on it in the different months. That's because we started it in May. So my next pattern that I'll be working on this next week, and also the month of August, during days in August, is my next mania piece that I want to work on. A medium-sized mania piece. It's a long dog sampler again. I'll be doing a lot of long dogs. This is called St. George's. And St. George's is about 155 by 155. So I picked this one along with a few of my other old mania pieces that are under 200 stitches, by 200 stitches, thinking that I can maybe get them done this year and open up my mania starts. This mania start was, I started it in 2019 and did very little I only worked on it 2019 Mania, 2020 Mania. So this is all that I've accomplished. This is 32 count Picture This Plus Serene. Oh, sorry, 28 count Picture This Plus Serene linen. And that thread there, which is so pretty with the different variations of green, I brought it out. I've been asked, it doesn't have a name, though it may on the site have a name. This is Threadworx, and that's the variegations of the green. And it's 010581 if you're interested. So, real pretty green. And there you go, there's some Long Dog Sampler St. George's. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to accomplish on it this coming month in August, when August starts, the end of this week and next month, but I plan on working on it in August. Just to mention to you, it is there. I'm doing a hashtag with it on Instagram, and if anybody wants to join in, I know this pattern is still available out there. So if you would like to get it and join in with me, and my friend Jasmine, who is on FlossTube, who has commented, she has this particular pattern, and she also wants to do it. So we're kind of trying to encourage each other, Jasmine and I. So I'm doing a hashtag on Instagram called St. George's No Dragon, since there is no dragon with this, even though it's St. George. And so if you want to join in with us, you can put the hashtag, put a picture in, ST, George's GEORGES, and no, N-O, Dragon, DRAGON, Sal, St. George's No Dragon. And join with us. And you know something? Before I forget and lose this nice needle, it's a Pat Carson needle, which fell out. I had better put it back in St. George's before I lose it in the carpet below me and not find it again. So, I'm also going to keep working on Plantation Sampler, Linen and Threads in Pandemic. And the way I'm going to be doing that is in August, I am going to do Arbitrary August, which, if any of you aren't aware what that is, that's where you pick a project each day out of your whips, and you don't know what that's going to be. I have used the Tiny Decisions app, which is this, but there are apps out there that will spin the wheel and choose your piece for you. But I am going to do it a little differently this month. I will not have all of my whips on here, only the whips that I really, really want to work on and that I have been pushing for a finish, or at least a page at least a page finish, or in the case of the Mystery Sal, Linen and Threads Mystery Sal, like a month finish. So because of that, I just put on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I only have 5 whips on my Tiny Decisions app. That way, when I click on it, then I'm going to come up with a lot of the same pieces during the month, and so that's my plan for August. I know that I'm also planning each week for the first 30 minutes to an hour on working on my pieces that I also have on the app, because I'm going to feel like if I end up with if it ends up picking the same one 3 days in a row, and I'm not happy because I want to be working on one of my others that I'm more excited about working on, like Plantation, at least that week I'll have Plantation Sampler all week for like an hour. And then whatever taps up and opens up on my mini Arbitrary August, then I can work on that too. So I'm hoping that'll give me some accomplishment for Arbitrary August for me, instead of having every single whip I have on this wheel. Okay, before the giveaway, Just to let you know, we had a canceled Idaho retreat that was given by Melanie Smith of Yarns and Threads. When I passed through on my way to the River House, I stopped by Melanie's house to pick up my bag or my package of retreat goodies, because I told her, I said, just go ahead and keep it. There was a whole bag of all kinds of goodies, coupons, things that people donated and everything for the retreat. And she was going to send them out. And I told her, don't worry about sending mine out. You can save the postage and I'll just pick it up. Well, I finally stopped by her house and picked it up. Thanks, Melanie, for keeping it for me for that time. And I opened it up there, and man, oh man, what a bunch of goodies. So I'm going to do another floss tube in a few minutes, and it'll just be of the retreat goodies from our canceled Idaho retreat. That way, if you're interested in seeing some of the things, if it's something that you're interested in, you can watch it. Otherwise, I don't have to take up the extra time here to just show all the goodies that we got. But I do want to show them because some of them are quite special. So on to my giveaway. I have an extra one of a club piece, Dying to Stitch, All About Berries Club, that I'm going to give away. I'm not going to take it out of the package here, but you can see it there. Erica Michaels does a whole bunch of the cute berries patterns. And this one is called Expect Less with the little sheep. Oh, Melanie, it makes me think of you. I hope you watch this floss tube and try to enter. It has the fabric and the flosses and, of course, the finishing materials. So I'm going to give this away. And all I want you guys to do is just to just comment with something about berries in your comment. It can be anything, whether you like berries, whether you like the berry club patterns, whether you already belong to it, what kind of berries you like to eat, whatever. That's fine with me. And I will take those comments, and not sure if it'll be next floss tube, but probably the one after that. So I'll give you a couple weeks. So before I go, I'm remembering my daily gratitude and to help you guys to look for something beautiful out there, in the world, and something to be grateful for. So let me see where it opens. This quote is by Helen Keller, and she says, "When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one that has been opened for us." And it shows on a boat and kind of the deck and looking at the ocean beyond. And I think what it's saying is that sometimes we just keep thinking about the hard things in our life and the closed doors, the doors that we can't open, that when that door does open, sometimes we don't look for it. We don't even notice that it's open yet. So if you look for those open doors and don't always be looking at the closed one, it'll all of a sudden pop out at you. So that's my gratitude quote for today. I'm glad to join you guys. Remember to look for the beauty all around you, out there in the world, here in your home. There's a lot of beauty out there. And so anyway, look for that. My love goes out to everybody. Happy stitching to you all, and I'll talk to you later or in a little bit if you want to go see the retreat video. So anyway, you guys all take care. Bye.